Hey, what's up everyone? Dan Sandwich back, and I am here again making another NBA 2K video. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for a little while. It was an idea I had for a while. And then recently, another YouTuber kind of beat me to the punch um, by the name of KOT4Q. Big time fan of his. He does a lot of NBA 2K videos, kind of why I wanted to do stuff like this in the first place. Um, but he beat me to the punch this video, but not really. I'll explain that in a little bit. So he recently did a video where he took a player with 99 overall and made him have a really short prime and watch his career start off really well and then decline. And then he also put a character in the game that was a lower overall player but with 99 potential and wanted to see what the difference between their two careers was. Um, I wanted to do a video where I took a 40 overall player, which is the lowest overall rating you can give a player in the game, and 99 potential, and see how their career went. Um, so when he did it, he gave that player like a 68 overall, which is still bad, but not anywhere near as bad as a 40 overall. Because a 40 overall player is literally like all their attributes are 25, which is as bad as you can make it in NBA 2K. So it's quite a big difference between a 40 overall player and like a 68 overall player. But he wanted to do it a little bit more realistically, I guess, by having them in the draft and someone drafting them and all that stuff. I'm not messing around with that. I'm just going to randomly assign this player to a team, and then they're going to have to deal with a 40 overall player on their roster for the first couple of seasons as he starts to get better. Um, so yeah, that's kind of my plan for this video. It's going to be like a career simulation of this guy. So I would like to introduce you to Buster Scrubb, because he's both a bust and a scrub. I thought that was pretty clever. Pat myself in the back a little bit there. But yeah, I made him a 6'7" small forward, kind of like the average height and weight of an NBA player. Um, so now again, I did want to make sure that he didn't outright fail. So I did a couple things. One, I gave him the tendencies of LeBron James because I want him to actually like still play well when he is playing. The other thing is I gave him a 99 stamina and 99 durability. So he's not going to get hurt and he's going to play as many minutes as he possibly can. And then when I assign him to a team, I'm going to make him a starter and put him in the best possible chance for success as I can, because I don't want it to be it'd be really boring if he was just on the bench for most of his career and then he somehow came up. I want it to be kind of interesting and like seeing how he actually plays at the beginning of his career and then as his career progresses as he gets closer to hopefully as he gets closer to 99 overall. The other thing that I did that I don't think KOT4Q did is I gave him a peak start of 40 and a peak end of 41. You can see that there now. Yeah. So this should ensure that he just continues to get better and never regresses. Um, and should give him a better chance of reaching that 99 potential. Um, so yeah, that's Buster Scrubb. That's gonna be our guy that we're gonna be following around today. Um, and now it's time to pick which team he's gonna play for. Okay, so I got a random wheel of every NBA team in the league. So I'm just gonna spin this, and this is gonna be the team that he ends up on. So let's see who is the unfortunate team that's gonna have to deal with him for a couple of years. So Miami Heat. Looks like it's gonna be Miami Heat. So good news is, you got the chance of getting a future superstar here. Bad news is he's gonna be bad for a little while. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the roster, put him on there, and I'll get started here simulating his career. All right, so as you can see, I've got Buster Scrubb here on the roster, uh, looking nice at a 40 overall. Really bringing up the rear of this roster pretty well. And then as you see, Under game plan, I have him in the starting lineup. So this team went to the Eastern Conference Finals in real life. I don't know if they can carry our boy Buster all the way there in the simulation. But it's a really good team still, so they have a chance, I think. But yeah, let's see. I also have it set so he has a no trade clause, so they can't get rid of him that easy. And then I am going to make sure that he doesn't get subbed out of the starting lineup. So I have like full control over the rosters and things like that going forward. Um, at least until he gets good enough to, warrant his own success, basically. But yeah, so I'm gonna start simulating, and we'll, I probably won't make this a very long video, as I'll try to cut it down as much as I can. Um, so unless something crazy happens, I'll probably only pop in for like the player progression part of it, because that's the part we're most interested in, is seeing how far he progresses. So yeah, let's see how it goes after the end of the first season. All right, so we're back after the first season. To no one's surprise, probably, the Heat did not make the playoffs. Um, Buster did have 8 points a game, 2.5 assists. Not bad for being literally as bad as you could be. I mean, he only shot 21% the field, less than 10% from three, 2.5% from free throw. So, he didn't shoot very well. But, I think 8 points for someone who is as bad as you could possibly be. Like, I don't think I could go in the NBA and average 8 points a game no matter how many minutes you give me. So that's pretty cool. He only went up 2 overall points, which is a little disappointing. I kind of expected there to be a little bit more progress there. Trying to see, he gained 1 badge, and it's the volume shooter badge. So he obviously he's taking a lot of shots to get to those 8 points a game. So that probably helped. But I think that only can help his progression. If he's shooting more, getting more opportunities, that's got to help his progression overall, I think. Um, so it's not as good as I thought it would be after the first season. I thought he'd jump up more. Um, but let's see. I mean, I want to see like what his actual ratings are. Because starting at 25, there's a long way to go up. So he's increasing quite a bit in a lot of different categories. So a couple things are in the 30s now. So I don't know. I mean, he's got a long way to go. He's only 20 years old. Um, so I think he's got the chance to still make it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of expected a little bit more after the first season, but like I said, long way to go in his career. Hopefully, he makes it to 40 years old. But yeah, I'm gonna simulate year 2, and then I'll catch back up with you probably at the player progression screen, unless the Heat somehow make the playoffs again. Okay, so we're back after year 2, and our guy Buster has gone up to a 47 overall. So definitely making some improvements there. Although his stats last season took a little bit of a dip. Not as many points per game. His shooting was a little bit worse overall. But still, going up from a 42 to a 47, that's a pretty big jump. I think 5 is about as large of a jump you'll see in overall rating in this game, but it's a good sign because it shows that he's continued to improve. Didn't get any more badges this season, but I think it's good to see that he is still steadily improving. I think it's going to be good to see moving forward. Once again, the Miami Heat team did not do very well. Missed the playoffs once again. And as you can see, they already have an injury to one of their better players on the team. 79 overall is one of their better players on the team. So that's rough. But yeah, I'll catch up to you at the end of the third season and see what happens then. All right, so Buster jumped up another 4 overall points to 51 overall. His points per game went up to almost 9 points a game last season. Shooting better as well from basically everywhere, which is exciting. He's averaging almost a steal a game, which is actually kind of crazy. Well, I guess he's been doing that basically his whole career. Okay, so maybe that's not crazy, but I guess it is kind of crazy. The guy who is still total garbage is getting almost a steal a game. Um, no more badges added, but yeah, I mean it's still pretty steady progress. My plan is if he's still like bad at the end of his contract, if he doesn't get signed by anybody in free agency, I will just spin the wheel again and sign him to another random team so that the Heat aren't just constantly being punished for having this guy on the roster. Because yeah, they didn't make the playoffs again. So yeah, they're still not doing very well with Buster on their lineup. But he's getting better. He's getting better. 51 after 3 seasons. You know, I'm holding out hope. I think he's going to be able to at least become a serviceable NBA player. Maybe not all the way to 99, but we'll see. You know, the progression system in this game is crazy. It really is. So it can do some crazy stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna simulate another season, and then we'll see where we're at. Oh, I got to. But yeah, I'll catch up with you at the end of the next one. All right, cool. So after the end of what season is it? I can't even remember anymore. I think that's season 4. Buster jumped up another 5 overall points, up to 56 overall now. Again, his stats pretty much the same as they were the year before, but he's shooting even better. You know, over 30% from free throw. That's exciting, guys. You know, he's getting better. So you know, he's steadily improving. Basically, still only 1 badge, but you know, it's all right. I think he's got 2 more years on this contract, and then you know we'll see. Yeah, that's the end of season 4. Yeah, we'll see if he's good enough to actually get signed by anybody. And if he doesn't get signed, I'm just going to spin the wheel again and put him on a. But yeah, you know he's steadily improving. I think if he keeps going up 5 overall every year, that'll be pretty solid. You know, it's going to take him 20 years to get there, but he might actually end up being a good NBA. So yeah, let's do another one and see where he's at the end of 5. Okay, so after season 5, he's up to a 60 overall. Um, that's pretty much the same, although his actually his efficiency went down a little bit. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is the last year of his current contract. Um, you know, he might be good enough at the end of this season that someone will actually sign him just based off of his potential alone. And again, if he doesn't, I've already said this twice already, but I'll just assign him to a random. Yeah, still only 1 badge, but you know, it's this is what the roster looks like after this season. They didn't sign anybody in free agency, so this could be Buster's year to shine. You know, he could have his best season yet. You know, he's up to a 60 on 3-pointer, which is pretty good. You know, for someone who came from a 25 overall. So yeah, he's drawn a lot of fouls, obviously. You know, he could have a pretty decent season, especially since there's only 3 players on the team right now. I have no idea what's gonna happen next. This is gonna be very interesting. Um, but yeah, this could be his last season on the Heat. So I don't know. Maybe the Heat fans will finally. Actually, let me see what the team looks like after that. Okay, so he is now officially the starting small forward on the team. I didn't even have to adjust anything. So he is now the actual starting small forward on the team because they have nobody. Everybody got tired of losing and they just left. Now it's Buster's time to shine. He changed his number for some reason. He was number 26, now he's number 12. I don't know. That's interesting. But yeah, this is gonna be An interesting season probably. And hopefully you see some improvement after this one as well. All right, so at the end of his sixth season, and to no one's surprise, the Heat were just awful. I mean, that roster was totally terrible. Um, but he had his best scoring season at like 12 points a game. Is that going to be good enough to generate any sort of interest from teams? Currently he has 0 offers. So I'm just going to keep seeing what they do here. I mean, I'll just simulate 2 player progression and see if anyone did pick him up. If they didn't, then I will be spinning the wheel again. But I would be actually surprised if anyone did sign him. So he's not on the Heat, that's for sure. All right, so he went up to 64 overall, but he is not currently on a team. So I will be going back to the wheel, and then we will be spinning to see who else. I'm gonna remove the Heat from this because I don't want them to be tortured again. So let's see if who's gonna end up with Buster Scrubb this time. Looks like it's gonna be the Timberwolves. So congratulations, Timberwolves fans. You get to deal with Buster Scrubb. But hopefully you get to see his ascension into being a really good player. So let's go and take control of Minnesota. I will get him on their team, and then go from there. All right, so at the end of his 7th season, he is up to a 68 overall. Again, his stats have stayed basically the same, except his points per game has gone up a little bit. But this is his first season shooting over 30% from the field. And his 3-point percentage is climbing up there too, 28%. Getting close to the, maybe not to the league average, but he's not, I don't think, a liability maybe from 3-point anymore. So it's getting there. He's only 25, got a lot of career ahead of him. But new team, same result as far as the what they did during the regular season. Did not make the playoffs again, of course. So yeah, he's still definitely holding this team back a bit, you could say. But it also, like, I feel bad for Tyler Hero. He just can't get away from Buster Scrubb. No matter where he goes, he's having to play with him. So that's not great either. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely steady improvement. But maybe I can see now why KOT4Q did what he did, as far as starting the guy out at a 68 overall and not a 40 overall, because it's taken a while, but he's only a 68. So I don't know. I mean, it could. He may never turn into a real NBA player, but it's at least fascinating to see how far he has come already. All right, 8 seasons in the books. He's up to a 72 overall now. His highest points per game so far. Best season in terms of rebounds per game, assists. His best shooting percentages of his career so far. So steady improvement. 72 overall. That's like, that's like a real NBA player. Like, there's a lot of guys in the game that are 72 overall for real. And here he is. He has 2 badges now. Let's see. I'm anxious to see what his other badge is. It's another shooting badge. He's Hall of Fame volume shooter. That's really funny to me. Now he's a hot zone hunter as well. So that's interesting. Let's see. I wonder if he is actually in the lineup again. I did actually stop to see what the rest of the team looked like. I'll do that here in a second. Let's see. No, he's still not good enough to be in the starting lineup on this team. Um, but he's getting there. I think, if he goes up another 5 overall points, that's a 77 overall. That's solid, Um, my goal here now is to see, if he can be like the most improved player at some point. That's what I want to see. I'm just kind of just scrolling to the end of this season, getting to the awards period, and seeing if he can be like the most improved player at some point. 'Cause that would be like the most exciting thing to me, to see if he can do that. Um, but yeah, here we go. This is year 9. Things are starting to get a little bit more real. See what happens. All right, Buster's up to a 76 overall, and he's no longer a prospect. He's a sharpshooter now. So he has like a real role. And 89 on 3. So went from 25 to 89 in, let's see, 9 seasons. That's pretty incredible. There's a lot of real NBA players who never develop a 3-point shot. And this guy did it through sheer force of will. So that's pretty cool. Still only a 53 from free throw. So that's a really funny thing to me that there's a guy in the NBA who's just like a dead eye knockdown 3-point shooter who just can't hit his free throws. Um, let's see what his stats were like last season. Wow, okay, so he jumped up to almost 20 points a game. That's crazy. He did not win Most Improved Player. I think he might have deserved it. Jumping up 5 points a game, basically. Um, and his shooting splits still aren't amazing, but they're definitely serviceable. I mean, other than the free throw shooting. Um, Again, career highs in rebounds per game and assists per game. Um, it's looking pretty good for Buster here. Um, so yeah, that's 9 seasons in. I'm gonna go one more season and then I'm gonna take a break because this takes a while to do, and I had other things I wanted to get done today. But I'm gonna go one more season in and see where he's at the end of year 10. Um, oh, and yeah, I think it goes without saying that the Timberwolves ended up not doing anything last year either. Oh, let me make sure he's in the starting lineup. Oh, he is. Okay, cool. So he's officially the starter now again, which is a good sign. So I don't have to mess with that anymore. But yeah, Timberwolves did not do anything last season either. Um, but I don't know. They got a sharpshooter in their lineup now. Maybe they'll do a little bit better. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of hopes for him, for this team. I guess until he actually starts getting like really good, which it might happen. He might get up to 80 overall at the end of this season, and then he's got hopefully 10 more years left in him to climb to 99. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. All right, at the end of year 10, he's up to an 80 overall. In 10 seasons, he literally doubled his overall rating, which is awesome. Just really, really cool. He's up to 22 points a game after last season. Kind of holding steady at 4 rebounds and 4.5 assists. That's kind of what I think he will probably stay around there. But now his shooting percentages just keep on climbing. 44% from the field, almost 38 from 3. So that's around league average now. So that's really cool. That he's actually becoming an average NBA player. Free throws are still a struggle for him. But he's got 12 badges now. And he's considered a sharpshooting facilitator. So his playmaking must be pretty solid now too. I mean, you look at he's up to 95 on 3, which is nuts. I'm sure his defense is probably still garbage. The one thing I did notice when I was looking through these earlier is it looks like the things that you will not see improvement in are going to be like his athletic ability. Like he's still really slow. Let's go over to his speed and acceleration. Yeah, 35 and 25. He's still really slow. So probably just like stands over in the corner and gets some 3-point shots off because he can't really do much else beyond that. But an 80 overall, man, that's pretty cool after 10 seasons. Let me check out to see what his badges are, because he has 12 of them now. So he's got some finishing badges now. Obviously, a lot of shooting badges. Um, so that's really cool. Got one playmaking badge. So he's really good at throwing alley passes, but that's his only passing skill. And to no surprise, his defense is non-existent. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty exciting. That progression he's been able to pull off in 10 seasons. All right, I'm back. I am wearing a different shirt. See, later in the day. At the end of his 10th season, he's an 84 overall. 24, 5, 6 per game. He's shooting almost 50% from the field, but almost like the same percentage from three, which is nuts. Um, Still like struggling in the free throws. Once again, T Wolves missed the playoffs. But I was scrolling through to see just to see his stats and stuff like that, and I noticed that he has 20 badges now, but he was third team All NBA last season. So his first award of his career. So All NBA team, that's a pretty big deal, I think, in general. So he went from literally as bad as he could possibly be to third team All NBA. And if you look here, he has a career high of 61 points in a game, and that wasn't even this season. So before he was as good as he is now, he scored 61 in a game somehow. So the dude can score. That's a fact, but he may not be able to do much else. He's now the best player on the team, although as you can see, the team doesn't have very many players on it currently. But yeah, he's still climbing that ladder. I was doing the math kind of in my head. If he continues improving by 4 overall points a season, he should be at 99 at age like 35 or something like that. I might be wrong on that. Obviously, we'll see here as the simulation continues on. Let's just go ahead and take another look at this roster after they've had time to make some more additions to the team. And yeah, he's the best player on the team now. 3-level scorer, so pretty decent. Yeah, I mean he's definitely done a lot more than I was actually thinking he might have been able to do. I mean, third team All NBA, that's definitely something for sure. Maybe he'll make an All Star team this year. Maybe they'll be able to go to the playoffs this year. This is the last year of his contract. Unlike same as last time. So if no one signs him, which he's an 84 now, so he should get some offers in the offseason. But if nobody does sign him, I'll just spin the wheel again and see what team he ends up on. But yeah, I think with where he's at right now, he should garner some offers from somebody, given he's an All NBA player. He's done some stuff in the league now, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in free agency for this. All right, so at the end of season 11, and this is crazy, he's on the All NBA first team. All NBA first team, which is just nuts. So that's crazy to see that he's done this much. His points per game just steadily climbing. 27 a game. Assists and rebounds at 6. Shooting 50, 40, 60. So his free throws is still his Achilles heel, but man, he's doing really, really well. I didn't think he would get to first All NBA first team, that's for sure. The T Wolves still struggled mightily. They were the 15th team in the conference, so nowhere near the playoffs for them. But he's a free agent now, coming off 2 All NBA team selections. Things are looking pretty interesting for the free agency. So let me go ahead and sim up to that point, and then we'll see where he ends up at. All right, here we are. He is a 76er now. And he only went up 2 overall points last season, which is interesting. It seems like he's starting to maybe slow down a little bit. But he's an 86 overall, which is really solid. He's the second best player on this team. And they've got a pretty decent squad here. You got DeAndre Ayton and a couple of auto-generated guys that are pretty solid. A bunch of 80 plus guys. So, they could have something going for them this season. He's a facilitating 3-level 2-way player now. which is a mouthful, but it means he can kind of do a little bit of everything. It looks like, um, except run fast because he's probably still like a 35 on speed. Um, yeah, 38. So he's getting a little bit faster, but still pretty slow. Yeah, so not a very athletic guy, but you know he can shoot the ball like crazy. He only signed a 1 year contract, so it's gonna be interesting to see what he can do in that 1 year with Philadelphia. And so we're gonna follow this team around. Could this be the first time he makes it to the playoffs in his career? Uh, and can he make some noise there? So that'd be interesting. Well, I think that he's definitely got a chance with this team. And just like that, for the first time in his career, he's made the playoffs, and they're the number 1 seed. He slipped a little bit in terms of his individual performance, but it's probably in an effort to help the team more. He's all NBA 3rd team this year, not 1st team. But hey, you can't argue with the results. They're 1st overall in the East, at least. I think Sacramento might have a better record overall. Um, but yeah, I mean, you can see up to an 86 now. Well, he was before as well. Um, but yeah, I mean, like, can they leverage this into a championship? What's going to happen in the playoffs? They get out of round 1 relatively easily. They only drop 1 game. Let's see. Let's go through round 2, and then make it to the conference finals up against Detroit. Let's see. They got a 96 overall Ja Morant on their team, which is pretty imposing since the best player on our team is an 89 overall. But maybe we got the overall edge. Let's see. I'm gonna take it game by game here. Let's see. 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. Come on, guys. Let's get to the finals. Get to the finals. Game 7. And they're in the NBA Finals now. All right. So his first time in the playoffs, and he makes it to the NBA Finals to face the Thunder, who were the 8th seed, which is nuts. They got. How are they the 8th seed? They have 390 overalls. What in the world? That's insane. I have injuries turned off now because they were getting too annoying to manage early on. So I can't even explain how they have 390 overalls and they were the 8th seed. That's just nuts. I don't know. I don't think I don't know if Philadelphia has a chance against this team. That's a lot to go up against. But they take game 1. Let's see. Is it just a Bulls goal there? You're up 3-2. All right, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna do a simcast because I want to see. I want to see potentially Buster Scrubb holding that Larry O'Brien trophy. Okay, never mind. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Oklahoma City pulled it out in the end. There it was Game 7, so definitely simcasting this one. See what happens here. Can Philadelphia pull it off and get Buster Scrubb his first championship really late in his career? I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, they're getting blown out. That's a shame. That's a real shame. Made it all the way to the finals. I mean, but that Oklahoma City team was ridiculous. Like, how do they even get 3 games against that team? And I don't understand how that team made it to the 8th seed either. So, will he stay with Philadelphia? Is he gonna take his talents elsewhere? He's definitely proven that he can, perform in the playoffs now. So let's see where he ends up. Again, he just signed a 1-year deal with Philadelphia after that last season, so he could stay put. He could re-sign there, or he could go find another team that wants him better. Yeah, it looks like he definitely left Philadelphia. Let's see, and he's on Dallas now. Okay, he's on Dallas. Not a huge improvement. He's on an 89 now, which is not a whole lot more than he was before. Still holding out hope that he can make it to 99 overall, but that might be too much to ask, especially for a guy who only has like a 35 speed. All right, so Buster is the best player on this team as well, and they don't really look like they have a whole lot going for them right now. I don't know. This may not be a team that he can take to the finals again. but you know, he could put up big numbers as the best player in this team. Now that he's kind of established himself as a go-to player. Maybe he's looking for more personal accolades this season. Maybe he wants to get back to that All NBA first team, or it'd be nuts if he won MVP. I don't want to jinx anything. So I said I didn't want to jinx it, and I didn't. There it is. Buster Scrubb is your MVP. So from 0 to the MVP, and I think this is 13th season. You can't see because my face is blocking it right now, but he averaged 32.7 rebounds, 6 assists a game, and he's finally shooting like a reasonable free throw percentage at 70% a game. So yeah, really, really impressive. I'm still like shocked that he got to this point. And as you can see in the upper right hand corner, they were the first seed in the West as well. So I wasn't sure if that team could make it happen, because they didn't seem like they had a whole lot of talent on hand, but they definitely did. So you know, maybe he can have better luck on this team in the playoffs. Can he get back to the finals? Okay, barely scrapes it out of the first round. Went to Game 7 against New Orleans, which is crazy. Come on, let's get back to the finals. Let's do it for Buster. Is he able to do it? Oh man, again, another Game 7 series there. They went 3-0 and had to scrape a bye in Game 7. Now they're facing the Wizards. Let's see. Wizards also have 290 overall players, including this weird-looking guy with like gray hair. He's a 98 overall. That's crazy. And then Evan Mobley, who's 94 overall. I don't know. That's maybe not as crazy as that Oklahoma City's team we faced last year, considering they have 2 guys under 80 overall in their starting lineup. So maybe we can pull this one off. Once again, I'm gonna take it game by game to take Game 1, take Game 2. Come on, Dallas. Can they get a sweep? That would be nuts. Down 2 points, 15 seconds left. Not a whole lot of time for me to jump in here, but I'm gonna jump in. I want to see what happens. So let's see. Can Dallas pull this one off and get a sweep here? Washington hits a free throw to put themselves up 3. This is going to be close. Oh man, all right. So they're down 3. 15 seconds to go. Got to hit a big 3 here to tie the game. Do they go to Buster, who is probably got a 99 on 3 by now? He's number 42 on Dallas here. Setting the screen. He's getting open for the mid-range shot, backing down to get back out to number 6. Pass back out to the perimeter. McMillan with the 3. He misses it. That's probably a game right there. There it is. They weren't able to recover from that. But it's all right. They're still up 3-1. You know, it's always tough to hold a 3-0 series lead going into game 4. So let's see. Let's see if they can pull it off at home. You know, get that home court advantage. Wow, they're already off to a really hot start. Let's see if they can hold it. Yeah, they're up big. Looks like it's going to be it. Yeah, definitely going to jump in on this one. I want to play around with Buster Scrubb a little bit. I think that's what I want to do here. Is he in the game? There he is. Oh, he can't dribble the ball very well. Oh, I'm choking right now. Look at how slow he is. It's like full sprint right now. There it is. There is your champion. Finally making it happen. To get a good shot of this. Look at him. He's stoked. He's so excited. He never thought he'd get to this point. Everyone counted him out, called him trash, called him garbage. But here he is. finally, on the biggest stage, NBA champion. Can't take that away from him.
Thank you for coming out and supporting your team.
Yeah, it is possible to take a 40 overall player and make him an NBA champion. I wonder how many more years of this he has left in him. I think he's like 35 now, so should have at least 5 more seasons. Usually they make it to 40. Come on, Finals MVP Buster Scrubb. There he is. There he is, Buster Scrubb, Finals MVP at 33. So he's still got quite a few years ahead of him. I wonder how many more titles he can rack up. Can he turn into like a Hall of Famer? That's gonna be the craziest thing. Can he become a Hall of Famer? He only signed a 1-year deal with Dallas as well, so he's a free agent again. Is he gonna stay in Dallas or is he gonna go somewhere else? If he can win a championship there as well, that's gonna be interesting as well. So let's see if he ended up in Dallas or what's going to happen here. So he's a Laker now. He's a 90 overall now as well. Crazy. So I don't know how he didn't get most improved player because he went from 21 points a game to 32 and won MVP. But anyway, I don't know if he needs MVP and most improved player at the same time. Oh man, they got a squad. All right, so yeah, they got a pretty good team here. I mean, I don't know. It kind of falls off after their backup center, who's a 80 overall. I wonder if they don't already put Barnes at the power forward. I might just do that so they have like their optimum lineup, unless he drops overall too much. But I've seen it in a lot of cases. If you take a center and make him a power forward, usually his overall goes up. So I'm going to see what happens with that because I want him to have the best chance of winning a championship as possible because I need him to make the Hall of Fame. Back-to-back MVP for Buster Scrubb. Points per game came down a little bit. He's only averaging 26 points per game this season, but he wasn't the best player on this team, at least overall-wise this year. So he probably had to share some touches, but 26, 7, and 7 with 50, 40, 70 shooting. Pretty solid. I mean, really, really good. So no defensive player of the year though. That would be nuts if he actually did both of those. Only the 5th seed this season. So a little bit of a drop off for them from where he was at with Dallas, but you see Dallas isn't even in the, well, they made it in the play-in, but they weren't actually in the playoffs. So come on, can you be a back-to-back champion as well? All right, made it out of the first round, but now he's facing his former team, who made it out of the play-in and beat the #1 overall seed. So can he beat his old team? And he does. Squeaks it out in 7 games. Now they're going up against Denver in the conference finals. Can he make it to the finals? Pretty easy, right there, 4-1. Now they're back in the finals. Now with the Lakers. His new home, signed to a long-term deal here. And yeah, I think they should be able to handle this Magic team. I think they got the better overall team with 290 overall players with Fitzgerald and Scrubb. But yeah, let's take it game by game and see if he can get another championship. Take game 1, take game 2. Magic take game 3. Lakers are up 3-1. And there it is. Buster Scrubb gets his 2nd championship, his 2nd finals MVP. So building a pretty good resume now late in his career. Definitely an interesting story, I'm sure, to see, kind of where he ends up. But I feel like he's definitely building an MVP case. 2 MVPs, 2 championships, 2 finals MVPs, multiple All-NBA teams. He's probably made it to several All-Star teams by now as well. Looking pretty good. I think we're going to be able to successfully turn a 40 overall player into a Hall of Famer, which is just crazy. Up to a 92 overall now. Just slowly climbing up now. I don't know if he's going to be able to get to 99, but if he just keeps steadily progressing, he actually might get there. again, I think the biggest thing that's holding him back is his lack of athleticism. Um, but he can do everything else. Um, I don't really know if there's another comparison you can draw to him. Um, Maybe kind of like a smaller Nikola Jokic, um, because he can do everything, but he's not that athletic. In hindsight, I probably should have made him a center, made him like a 7'2" center, so he can kind of like boost his stats even further. Um, but that kind of gives me an idea for another video that I can do along the same lines as this. But yeah, I'm just here for Buster Scrubb's Hall of Fame potential. Um, so I might just skip it the next couple seasons unless something really crazy happens, and maybe just go to the end of his career because we've kind of already seen how a lot of this plays out, and I feel like this video is going to be kind of long anyway. So yeah, I think I'm just going to jump to the end of his career and see what kind of resume he built for the Hall of Fame. All right, so it's been 31 years in his career. That's at least what it says. That looks like I think it's a glitch because he started at age 19 to be 21 or 19 years in his. It says he's a 31-year pro. I don't think that's correct. But it does say on there, this is my last season. I'm going to retire at season's end. I don't know if that means at the end of because we just finished simulating one season. I don't know if that means this season or if it's going to be at the end of next season. Um, but he's a 95 overall. He's kind of held steady there. That's probably as good as he can get, given his athleticism. But I mean, he's built a pretty awesome resume for himself. 5-time MVP, 4-time champion, 8-time All Star. That is a total of 9 All NBA selections, and he was first team All Defense twice. So if this is it for him, that looks like an MVP. That looks like a Hall of Fame career to me. Um, oh, looks like a Hall of Fame career to me. So let's see. Yeah, there he is. He's hanging it up after 30 years pro, which that's still not correct. He's only 38, so there's no way he played 30 seasons. That's a weird glitch. But yeah, I mean, that's crazy. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Yep, there it is. He only averaged like 20 points a game because of his first, I don't know how many seasons, like 10 seasons, averaging like 10 points a game. But you know, with all the accomplishments he was able to rack up, he's definitely had a Hall of Fame career. So that's amazing. We took literally the worst player you can make and just threw them out there in the starting lineup for 20 seasons and brute force his way to a Hall of Fame career. Did he have his jersey retired by anyone? Yeah, he's on the Lakers for 4 seasons. They retired his number, but he did win like 3 championships with them. So it makes some sort of sense. But yeah, man, there it is. Buster Scrubb from zero to the Hall of Fame. Pretty surprising stuff there. But yeah, that was awesome. So just goes to show, I just want to like call out KOT4Q. You could do it. It was possible to take a 40 overall player and give him a Hall of Fame career. So if he sees this, I just want to say I'm a big fan. But look, man, I'm holding you to it. You gotta be a better integrity in that. I'm just playing. I'm not trying to call out a YouTuber with like 1 million subscribers, but I am. But I'm not. It's fine. All right, yeah. Thanks for watching. If you watched this video, thanks for making it to the end. If you think this was a good idea, I got more ideas like this kind of in the pipeline. I had a lot of fun making this video. So hope to see you in the next one.